Ladies and gentlemen, a new snapshot for Minecraft 1.13 has been released. This is the first snapshot of the year 18w01a. My name is slicedlime. I'm here to take you on a tour through all the changes in this version. Let's start with some gameplay changes and fixes. You were unable to open chests underneath leaves, glowstones, sea lanterns, ice and frosted ice in the previous snapshot, and that is fixed in this one. Mobs would control the minecart. If they were riding one, they could control which direction it went. That is fixed in this version, so contraptions using minecarts to control mobs should be vastly more stable in this version. The vanilla structure files were out of date, which caused some blocks to be missing or wrong in structures, and that is fixed in this version. And also a structure related fix, pressure plates tables inside of villages were just oak tables instead of the village specific wood. That is now changed. Bowls weren't usable as fuels inside of furnaces, they are now. Boats could glitch through blocks when slightly intersecting with water. That is all fixed in this version. Placing a grass path block underneath a block would make that block disappear, and placing tall grass on the lower half of a double grass would remove the upper half of the tall grass. Wall-mounted banners and skulls were treated as full blocks. That's fixed in this version, and the pick block function did not work on empty flower pots. You were also not able to eat plantable items if you looked at a block, even if you couldn't plant the item on that block. Some fixes for graphics as well. The strange lighting effect, the darkness that you would get next to slabs, stairs, grass, path blocks, and farmland has been fixed in this version. In the previous snapshot you would also get cave effect to the sky if you stood on slabs, stairs, path, or farmland blocks, and that's also fixed. The previous version introduced item frames placed on the ground. They could Z-fight, glitch when placed next to a pressure plate, and that is fixed in this version. Some user interface fixes as well. If you hit a key in creative inventory search, that would reset the scroll bar. That's fixed in this version. Turning on advanced tooltips would hide the map numbers, and the tab list would ignore the initial display name of players. The mouse wheel sensitivity was ignored, and that could cause some glitches when using a touchpad specifically. And the enchantment user interface's book opening and closing animation was rendered at approximately 20 FPS even if the actual frame rate was higher. Some redstone fixes in this version as well. Redstone torches would schedule updates when they shouldn't, and that could cause unreliable timings. More fixes for that in this version. I was already worked on in previous ones. Hopper and hopper minecart item pickup areas was too small. That is fixed in this snapshot as well. Gravity affected blocks would not fall when the block underneath was pulled by a piston. That is fixed in this version. And comparators were able to lock repeaters without making them appear locked in the previous version. That is fixed as well. And now we get to the meat of this snapshot. Most of the changes are for commands and map making, for technical stuff like that. Loot tables now have a set name function. You can use it to set the name of the item that is being generated. Scoreboard prefix and suffix fields have been removed. That means that scoreboard team colors no longer use a raw formatting input with a little paragraph symbol. Instead they use actual text component. This also means that the glowing outlines and spectator user interface that used the prefix colors instead of the team colors have now been fixed. Number of things have been done to the teleport command. There is now a facing part of the teleport command as brought over from the Bedrock edition where I added it for the 1.2 version of that. The X and Y rotations were swapped. That's fixed in this version. If you did TP at S and then tilde 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 would act like an absolute teleport and would kill all the momentum. That is now fixed. And the teleport would try to center correct on the Y axis. That is also fixed in this version. There's a new function tag in this version. It's called Minecraft:load. If you set that tag to a function, that causes that function to get run once every time you reload the world. So every time you load into a world or restart a server. The /timeset command now has the name arguments that were added to the Bedrock version a while ago as well, noon and midnight, in addition to day and night. In the previous snapshot, selectors and scoreboards didn't work for signs, even if they worked properly for books, tellraw and title commands. That's fixed in this version. The title and tellraw score component with fake players would return no entity was found. That's also fixed. Scoreboard players get would show a message with %s in it when no score was set. and the generic form of scoreboard players reset for an objective didn't work properly, and that is fixed in this snapshot. If you put a too long scoreboard objective or team name into a command, that was not detected when the command was parsed. It is now, and you could run the publish command from within a command block. That is not supposed to be possible. Execute subcommands would only run for each entity if the next subcommand would run at least one command for each entity. That is fixed in this version. If you use the execute if or unless form with a score subcommand, that would set the score to 0 if it was not set at all. Using execute store on double data types would use only single floating point precision rather than double in the intermediate scaling step. That is fixed in this version. And using the particle command with an item type didn't work with blocks or items that would derive their models from entity textures would instead show up as lava or water, and that is fixed in this version. Structures placed by structure blocks wouldn't update connecting blocks on the outside or inside of the structure, and that is fixed in this snapshot. And functions, advancements, and loot tables would allow other file types than .mc function and .json inside of data packs. The specified maximum for the /fill command was 32,768 blocks, but that exact count of blocks was not being allowed. And JSON text would show a syntax error if the JSON input was more than 1024 characters long. That is fixed in the snapshot. Some other changes for resource packs as well. Randomized block states didn't apply full models to blocks. That's fixed in this version. And block states did not work properly with 2 model options. Some other technical stuff: there was an error in the previous version where log files could become many gigabytes in file because the Brigadier, the new command parser, would log errors continuously. And there is now a new data generator thing exposed inside of Minecraft, so you're now able to get a dump of our blocks, items, and commands and stuff from the game without actually opening the game. You do this by running a Java command. It's easily done with the Minecraft server jar file. And you can use that ---- help argument for that to find out more detailed arguments. There's also a number of stability fixes included in this snapshot. Crashes now list what data packs are enabled in the crash reports, and there's also a number of fixes for actual crashes in this version. And those were all the changes inside this version 18w01a. We have more snapshots coming up, more for bug fixes, but one big change remains to be included inside of this technical update for Minecraft 1.13. There are stability fixes inside of this one, but it can still be unstable and can still crash your game, even corrupt your world, so if you try it, do so on a backup of your world or on a test world. Remember, if you upgrade a world to the snapshots for Minecraft 1.13, that world can no longer be used in Minecraft 1.12 versions, so take care when trying these versions. Now that said, if you do want to try it, head into your Minecraft launcher, go into the Launch Options tab and select Enable Snapshots in there. You'll get a warning, read through that, make sure you understand it, hit OK, then return to the News tab where you can now select the latest snapshot under the drop-down box in the Play button. Select that, start the game, and you'll now be playing the latest snapshot version, which is currently this one, Minecraft 18w01a. That was all for this time. I hope you liked this overview, and if you did, please help me out in return and leave a like on the video. Thank you for watching, and take care.